Greetings, opera lovers. Live from Bloomfield, Connecticut, it's Rona Sutton. This past Saturday, the Metropolitan Opera offered their matinee performance of TOSCA. My husband and I traveled to New York to hear it live, and around the world, thousands of people watched it transmitted live on their HD movie screens. And this coming Wednesday, or possibly next Wednesday, many theaters will repeat it. It was an enormously popular choice. The house was sold out. I know many people who tried to go to some of the HD performances at their local theaters, and they were sold out. So there was so much buzz about it. And why was that? Well, this opera had a checkered history. As most of you know who are watching this video, when plans were made for a new production, it was going to star Jonas Kaufmann and Christine Opelais as the doomed lovers, with Bryn Terfel as the evil Baron Scarpia, conducted by Miss Opelais' husband, Andres Nielsen. So, none of that happened. Everybody withdrew for a variety of reasons. The new production by Sir David McVicar was very much anticipated because the former production was reviled by the audiences and critics alike. It was a production that no one cared for. So now we're getting a new production, all new cast. And not only that, the stars, the two main star-crossed lovers, are very hot commodities today. And everybody has already chimed in how the opera looked, how it played to the audience, the raked stage, people liked it, people didn't like it, the conducting, this was disappointing, that was disappointing. So I figured I have nothing new to add on all of this, but what I can say is that the people who saw it in the HD theaters and the people who heard it live had had a variety of opinions, and I would just like to address that. I would say the biggest difference of opinion occurred over the baritone, Zeljko Lucic, who played Scarpia. This is just the truth. I'm not a fan of his. I do not enjoy his singing. I've heard him live before, and this time it just cemented my opinion that, for one thing, when he sings, to me, it sounds like he has some cotton in his mouth. There is something preventing his voice from going cleanly from himself out to the audience. Also, I don't find him a credible actor. He has very little stage presence, in my opinion. I know people who love him. They think he's terrific. So how can that be? I don't know. I can tell you this. When he came on stage for the Great Te Deum, it was a yawn moment. And that music is so powerful. It's earth-shattering. And all it was, please, let's go on. In the next act, he came out and was better as a Scarpia. And there was some very good stage direction between the Baron Scarpia and Floria Tosca, where he grabs her and gropes her. That was very realistic. But other than that, I didn't care for any of it. Mercifully, he's not in Act 3. That leaves us to the two leads, Sonia Yoncheva and Vittorio Grigolo. I'd like to address the tenor first. There has been so much trash talk about him not having enough voice to sing Cavaradossi. Who are these people? What do they know? I'm just astounded that they'd even have the courage to say those things. I was there in the house. He has plenty of voice. His voice rides well over the orchestra. And then people complain he's straining. Oh, you think it's easy for one voice to sing over 100 instrumentalists? Think again. Then people complain about his overacting. Okay, there, I'll give them their due. They don't like it, okay, but I do. Why not? He throws himself into it and you're caught up. The one thing I would say that is controversial, and I'm not going to defend him on this, is he seems to toy with the written notes. A very interesting dynamic happened between Mr. Grigolo and the conductor, Emmanuel Villaume, was that the conductor had to follow the singer. And I mean, he really had to follow him. From my line of sight, I had a pinpoint accuracy look at the conductor and the tenor. I was sitting in the middle of the orchestra, row T. It's a very good row. And I could see how the conductor was working so hard to keep this together. All in all, when it came time for his aria E Lucevan le stelle, he made a beautiful show of it. It was just gorgeous. I loved it. The audience loved it. Those people who didn't like it, okay, that's your opinion. It's a wrong opinion, but it's okay. Then we get to our lead lady. She's been on my bucket list for about 3 years to hear live. I'm just in love with the way she sings, and why not? It's so beautiful in every way. People complained that she didn't have enough temperament for the great diva TOSCA. I beg to disagree. When she came on stage, she came on with a great flourish entering the stage. She dominated and was playful with the tenor. Everything was working. In Act 2, again, she was able to, oh, here comes my dog out for a walk. A little distraction. Here, everybody, you can see Emma. There she is, Emma, going out for a walk. Okay, see, even opera viewers have to take care of their dogs. So she came out and in Act 2 wearing the most gorgeous dress. It was also criticized by bloggers. Could this dress have existed when Tosca was a real person? Who cared? It was gorgeous. She's gorgeous. I loved it. I'd like to take a few moments to give attribution to the other singers who were excellent in order of how I thought they were equal. But as they come on, the Angelotti was Christian Zaremba, wonderful. As why can't I find his name? As the sacristan, I can't find his name here. Patrick Carfizzi. Thought he was really terrific. And then we also had Richard Bernstein as the jailer, Davide Dale as the shepherd boy, Christopher Job as Sharoni, and Brenton Ryan as Spoletta. So all those little roles, they were very good. I'd like to make special mention of Patrick Carfizzi because when he sang and was standing next to Lucic, they kind of have some of the same notes that go between them. And his voice rang through much better than Lucic's. Now I'd like to ask a question. Why is this man having such a great career? It's not his fault that he doesn't have more of a voice that I would like than he does. It's the management. They're hiring him for everything. There are many people like me who would so like to see others, such as the other night when we had Quinn Kelsey as Count de Luna. We'd like to see them in more operas, or my friend Nelson D. Martinez, a great baritone of Cuban extraction. So there you have it. It was a great afternoon for me at the opera. The people who went to the HD, I know they loved it too. It's a very different experience. I've been to the HDs and been live to the same shows. And in the HD experience, you can get to see the singers' faces and see some of the fantastic camera work that the Met does. I'd like to make a little aside about the camera work. The other day, I watched from Munich, Die Walküre. Superb musically in every way. I didn't care for the production, but the big difference was the camera work. We have such great camera work here in the United States. It's just world class. Well, a review like this cannot be over without mentioning the orchestra and chorus. We have the best. That's all there is to it. Just great. Kudos to the conductor for working against some tough conditions. He did a beautiful job. I was so happy that I went. There's something else. The theater was sold out, and there's an electricity in the air, and it can't be denied. Another thing I'd like to say is that at the end, the audience gave a very well deserved real standing ovation to the two leads. They were fabulous. Okay, my opinion only. Bye, everyone. See you later.